often see this in the messages. People will say, I strayed for many years. I started with Dr. Scott and I fell off the wagon and I want to start back. And there's always some of these messages come with, the concern of what I just talked about, which is, is that going to affect my future? Everybody falls at some point. Anybody who says they haven't, and that could be a lapse in judgment, it could be a bad decision, it could be a moment of temptation. There's 1,000 different ways to describe it. I don't think you come and then you never fall off the wagon. I think there are people who have a greater propensity for certain things, but I don't think anyone's immune. And I certainly don't think anybody just, it's a straight line and it's continuous. I don't think it works like that at all. And that's why I said God's not looking for perfection. He knows our frame. He knows our frailties. He knows our failures. And even in a relationship, just two people who are the best of friends can have lapses in their friendship, and as long as the communication channels are open and honesty between the two parties is there to keep things open, the relationship doesn't suffer. Well, even more so with God. So the answer is no. I think it's ridiculous to think that any of us, and anyone who says that they do or they can, is a liar. To say you've never had a lapse since you came to the faith, that's BS. Whatsoever's not of faith is sin. Tell me that you've walked with the Lord for 20 years, 25 years, and you haven't gotten tired and actually fell backwards. If you're not going forwards, there's no neutral gear, you fell backwards. You went in reverse, even if it was for an hour, a day. That's a lapse. That's falling down. God's not going to condemn you for that. So I'm not interested, if you're a perfectionist, please get out of here. Dr. Scott had some good names for folks who have that disease, fundamentalists or whatever you are. I can't deal with that, because the truth, we have to be honest with ourselves before God. And you can BS other people if you want to, but you got one audience you got to be absolutely open with. And he already knows. It's like when he called to Adam and he said, "Where are you?" Do you think he really didn't know where Adam was? And we spend most of our time doing a little bit of the Adam routine. I'll make up something. God already knows. The relationship is not, I don't think your relationship with God is affected when you tell him what he already knows, because he wants to hear it from you. So that's all I have to say about that. For the people that keep asking me the same question over and over again. And if somebody says, well, I came to the faith in 1960-something, and I never, well, good for you. Go sell that stuff to somebody else. I ain't buying it. So, unless you're, if you're going to take me on this, let's go all the way. Let's go super biblical here, and let's go all the way. You mean to tell me you've never had road rage? Because road rage is hate, and if you hate in your heart, you're as guilty as a murderer. Okay. Let's get out of here while we can. Now, I'm still taking your reservations and your commitments, and I need you to get on the telephone. Get busy.
Come into this house, magnify the Lord, lift up holy hands, our hearts in one accord, worship and bow down before him, exalt his name today. to this house.